So this will be a quick video in Premiere Pro on how to create a video using stills, set them to different lengths, and then export it. So I'm going to go to New Project and create, this is going to be Test Project. And just for some stuff, like I usually use high def. Through audio samples, this is better because it does it based on frames instead of milliseconds. Timecode, I don't know much about this, but I always leave it on timecode. And then this is better because you use hardware acceleration. So test project, this tells you where you're going to save it. And let's hit OK. So now for a new project, I don't have anything to start with. So let's just do a new title, default still. Okay, test 1. Great, so this is the sequence settings that I've got here. By setting this for the very first thing I'm going to add to my project, I'm defining that my project dimensions are going to be 1920 by 1080, which is good for me because I want to be shooting in widescreen 1080p. So yeah, if I go and hit OK, here's my title. Let's call this a test title 1. Okay, now to make life simpler, let's see, I want to center this. Vertical center, horizontal center. Okay. And then I want to make another one just like this, so we'll say make another one, we'll call this title 2. And I'll change the text over to say title 2. Let's make another one. This one will be title 3. We'll change the text to say title 3. Okay, so now I've got 3 stills down here. I'm going to drag the first one over here to the right, drag the second one to the right, and the third one. And to zoom in a little bit on this project, I'm going to slide this bar down here. So I'm not moving it along here. I'm clicking the end and sliding it down. So that will get me, you can see the time. So this is 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So each of these is taking up about 5 seconds. And also, I know that you'd asked Jim for something including some audio. So let me go here just for ha-has. I've got some old comedy tracks from a stand-up comedy album I made. All right, so let's take some of this, put in here. So we'll say East Coast versus West Coast, right? That's a good little track. Cool. So I just imported that. I dragged it in. I could have also imported it the old-fashioned way through File, Import, but I just dragged it into the project, which works just as well. And this is about a 5-minute comedy track, so I'm going to slide it down to be regular size here. And here you go. If I drag this down, I could look at it. So now I've got audio to go along with my slides. It's not necessarily the most interesting or exciting thing in the world, but there you go. Test title 1, 2, and 3. Now if I want to change the length of one of these, I can slide it down, and then I can slide the other ones over, or I can change the length and drag this one here. I think, Jim, that you had mentioned having trouble lengthening one. So I'm not sure exactly where that issue comes, because I can stretch these really as long as I want them to go. And here again, I've got the audio stretched to match. Some things to be careful for. I think you mentioned your audio was not coming along with the track. So one thing to keep in mind is that there's a mute button. So make sure, there we go, that down here that your track isn't muted, because now you'll notice there's no audio coming out. So that's one thing to look out for. Also, I mean, I didn't use any transitions. But you might, if you've got some transitions, let's say that I've got these on, say, dip to black. If I've got some transitions in here specifically, you're going to want to render it in between to make sure that what you see is going to be the real deal. This should render pretty quick because it's only a minute long, and it's, you know, there's not really a whole lot of action. You could see that it turned green to signify that it has been rendered. And I always like to preview stuff before I export it, so I really know what I'm getting my hands into. So yeah, I've got a video track and an audio track. I've got titles. I've got transitions on them. Now I'm going to go File and to export it and go to Media. So now I think you mentioned that your audio was not going through. So let's kind of walk through this and see exactly what's happening here. So first off, for export format, let's do QuickTime, and then let's go down to HD 1080i. Okay, and you also see audio is at 48 kilohertz. Now I've already chosen, this is in my folder, projects called Test 1. Make sure both export video and audio are checked off. If there's no audio, then you won't have any audio, and you'll notice down here in the output section it says no audio. So make sure that's checked off. Coming down here, usually I like to slide quality all the way up to the top. And these settings are pretty much all set based on my format up here. If I go to audio, again, you want to make sure it's compressed, but you're usually going to use the default that came with the QuickTime settings. I'm not sure if you've got something not popping up here. Let me know. Again, use maximum render quality, frame blending, and hit export. And you should have both the audio and the video exporting with this. If you don't have the audio exporting with it, let me know and shoot me an email, and I'll see if there's something that I can fix for you, or we could do a screen share. Okay, bye.